In this video, we are going to look into how to solve simultaneous equations. This is chapter 3 on the AddMaths curriculum and chapter 6 on the maths curriculum. Now, whenever you get a problem like this, the first thing you have to do is label all the equations on the question. So we label the first equation as 1, second one as 2, third one as 3. Our first goal for these types of problems is to make one variable turn to 0. What does that mean? Now, variables are letters in math. For this example, it is x, y, or z. So how do we make either variable 0? As you can see here, the y value here is 1 and the y value here is also 1. The values are the same here. So if we can just find a way to minus these two, then we'll get 0. So how do we minus these two? Before that, I'm going to show you first the working process. So plus y, if we minus this minus plus y, which is just minus y, then we get 0. What I just said, we need to make the y variable 0. So we take the first equation and then minus it with the second equation. So 2 minus 3 is negative x. Y minus y is 0. We don't have to write it. Negative 5 minus negative 7, which is plus 2. Now that we did that, we have to then take two sets of equations. For this problem, I'm going to take 2 and 3, the equations of 2 and 3. And we have to make this y variable turn to 0. And you can see that the values are the same. This is 1 and this is 1. So we can just minus 2 by 3 to eliminate y, turn y to 0. So we write 2 minus 3. 3 minus 5 is negative 2x. Y minus y is 0. This minus this is plus 5 z equals negative 1. And then we label this. Now, we have successfully eliminated y. Our next goal is to eliminate either one of the variables. So we can either eliminate x or z. Now, we notice that the values of x are not the same. This is negative 1 and this is negative 2. So how do we make the values the same? I'm going to let you think for the answer. You can try pausing the video if you want to. Now, the way to make the values the same is to multiply or times 4, the whole equation of 4, by 2. So that we get negative 2x here, and then we get 4z, and we get negative 2 here. So we write here 4 times 2. Negative 2x plus 4z equals negative 2. We label this as 6. And now that the x values are the same, we have to make it 0. Now, do we plus or minus it? Previously, we used minus, and then let's see if negative 2 minus negative 2, does it equal to 0? Let's try. Negative 2 minus negative 2, which is equals to negative 2 plus 2. And yes, it does indeed equal to 0. So we take 5 and minus the equation of 5 and minus it by the equation of 6. So 5 minus 6. This is 0, this is 1z, and this is 1. So z equals to 1. We have found the value of z. We have to label this again. Now, once we have found the value of one variable, we have to then substitute it into the equation above. So you can substitute it into either one. You can substitute it to 5 or to 6 to find the value of x. I'm going to choose to substitute it into the equation of 6. So how do we substitute it? Okay, first of all, what is substituting? Substituting is basically just replacing the variable's value with the value of the variable. So if we substitute it into this equation, we get minus 2x plus 4 bracket 1 bracket equals negative 2. So we basically replace the z with 1. That's called substituting. So we write it like this. Substitute, you can write the whole word if you want, but I'm going to choose to write it the easier way, which is just writing sub and then full stop. And then we sub 7 into 6. Then we write it here, negative 2x plus 4. We substitute the z value equals to negative 2. And we just multiply it in. Negative 2x plus 4 equals negative 2. And negative 2x equals negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. X equals negative 6 divided by negative 2. And x is 3. Now, we have found the values of x, and z. Once we have found the values of x and z, we have to then substitute the values of these two variables into one of the equations on top to get the value of y. Because we already have the value. You have to vision this. We already have the value of x and z. And what's left is y. So we have to just substitute both those values into this either of these equations. I'm going to choose to substitute it into 1. So we write here sub, oh yeah, by the way, you have to label this, my bad. Okay, so now substitute 7 and 8 into 1. So now 2x, we write down here 2, and then we have found the value of x. This is 2 bracket 3 plus y minus 5 1 5z, which is 5 1 equals negative 1. Then this is 6, this is y, and then this is 5 equals negative 1. Y 6 minus 5 is 1 equals negative 1. And y is negative 1 minus 1, which is negative 2. So once we have finished this, we have found the values for all the variables here. We have successfully solved the simultaneous equations. So we can choose to write all of the variables value down here if we want to make it more neat. and not messy, I guess. You can choose not to if you don't want to waste time, but I usually do this during exams. So I take the value of x first, x equals 3, then y, and then y equals -2, z equals 1. And there you have it. You have solved the simultaneous equations.